So the system was developed initially around the idea that when a child needed to be removed from a home, the children were generally placed in what's called licensed foster care homes or in group shelters. And that is not good for families, particularly the group home circumstance. And so over the years, policies have started to shift and change with a greater awareness that it is much better for a child, and you'll have way better outcomes if the child had a previous relationship with somebody and you can place that child with a family member or a close relative or someone that child knows. A very real difference in terms of the amount of financial and social supports that those families receive. So for example, when a child's placed in a licensed foster family that's thought about this next transition in their lives, right? They're going to accept a brand new child into their home. They're also provided with ongoing financial support to the tune of, sort of depends a little bit on the age of the child and the condition of the child, but it's around an average of about $600 or $700 per month. When kinship families receive children, they're not eligible for those same licensed foster care payment because they haven't anticipated that child is going to come into their home. And so until they become licensed foster homes, if they choose to become licensed foster homes, they receive very minimal financial support. It's about an average of about $70 per month is generally what they receive. Where if you're going to say that this is a safe home and place the child in that home, there's no appreciable difference between approving that placement and licensing that placement, right? And so they said that we're going to give you a provisional license and give you immediate financial support to help stabilize that placement, help you buy your bunk beds and your car seats and, deal with all the child care issues that you're going to need to move forward. Many children that have been placed by Department of Child Services into a kinship family, but there's probably 10 times more families that are what are called informal kinship families, in which they recognized there was a situation in which they needed to intervene. And so DCS didn't become involved in that family. They just stepped in and started providing care in that circumstances, and they have virtually no social supports or financial supports whatsoever.
These grandparents are incredibly resilient, resourceful, and determined. They are our very best allies. They are able to speak with moral authority when talking to people in power, particularly policymakers and decision makers at the state legislature. It's very difficult to be rude to, dismiss, or ignore grandma. Financial challenges are huge, and I would say accessing services, supports, the kinds of things that you need when you are dealing with children being placed in your home that have been traumatized in one way or another, separated from their parents, being able to navigate a very complex and fragmented system. Take a moment, pause, really see and acknowledge the incredible heavy lift that these families are doing for our community and for our society, and know that those children being raised by those grandparents have a much better chance of succeeding later on in life as adults because those grandparents made that huge sacrifice.